They say that every family has its skeletons in the closet. Only, in mine, they're buried in the backyard. Hello, I'm Peter. I'm 20, and here's what happened to me. I live with my father and mother. Over the past 3 years, Dad's business has been taking off. We moved to a new house much larger than the old one, got a new car, and I was even allowed to get a dog. That Saturday, my dog Milo and I were home alone when a courier developed an unexpected package addressed to me. The sender was unknown, but there was a note attached. Quick, try me. I tore off the packaging and found the coolest metal detector. I thought it was a surprise from Dad. Recently, he had been giving my mom gifts. Of course, I immediately took it out to the yard. I got a signal at the fence in the farthest corner of the garden. I dug several times with a stick that I found nearby. The signal got stronger. The ground was loose and easily crumbled, but since I did not find anything on the surface, I decided to go get a shovel. Milo stayed there and began to dig vigorously. When I returned with the tool, the dog ran to me and threw something on the grass at my feet. Good thing I didn't have time to have breakfast that morning. Neither mother nor father answered my call. Milo was running around the yard with his find, and he was barking loudly. I didn't know what else to do and called the police. Then everything was as if out of a movie. Cars, special equipment, people in uniform, everything was out of control. And this was in the backyard of our house. Soon, father and mother arrived. They were also very alarmed. That night, when I was lying in my bed and thinking over everything that had happened that day, I again heard the howling of sirens, a knock on the door, and a commotion on the first floor. I looked out the window and saw that my father, handcuffed, was being put into a car. It was the most unexpected end to a crazy day. I had a lot of questions, but my mother did not want to discuss anything with me and spent the whole day in her room. When I went to school the next morning, everyone already knew everything, and much better than I did. On our property, the police discovered the bones of a man, a gun, the metal detector found that, and a bag of money. On the money, my father's fingerprints. And then, a lot of different information surfaced about the illegal affairs of my dad and his illegal business. The whole school was in my ear. The word mafia haunted me on every corner. They poked me and someone shouted swear words at me. I couldn't handle even 2 classes and just ran home. At home, my fears were confirmed, and my mother told me that all the rumors about my father were true. Plus, the fact that they found his prints in the grave in our backyard. I just couldn't believe it. As a father, he really ran not-so-good businesses, such as strip clubs and several gambling establishments disguised as bars. He was released on bail, and he had already been behind bars for several days when I first went to visit him. First, he asked me how it turned out that I was running around with a metal detector in our backyard. I told him about the anonymous gift, and that I was sure it was from him. Then, my father nodded empathetically and said, "How cleverly they set me up." He admitted that he had indeed been running an illegal business for several years, and if not him, then someone else would have done it. But he has principles, and he never would have stooped to the low level of murder. About 2 weeks ago, an important meeting took place with people much more powerful and dangerous than him. In order not to lose his job, he promised every month to give part of his share to them. This money was found in the ground, along with the poor fellow buried nearby, and on that money there were fingerprints. Milo and I also turned out to be pawns in this game, and without suspecting anything, played a great role in removing father from the playing field. For several months, the trial has dragged on, and is flooded with new evidence of my dad's guilt. As for me and my mother, we fully support him, even though he was running a dirty business. It's not easy for us either. They recognize us and point fingers. Fine, let them. What do you think about the kind of activity in which my father engaged? And how do you feel about the mafia? Write in the comments. Hello, I'm Jessie. I'm 21 years old, and yesterday I had the craziest day of my life. It all started very ordinary. The night before yesterday, I went to my friend's house to eat pizza and watch a movie. This time, we chose a film with Jim Carrey, Yes Man. In it, the main character is a terrible bore and antisocial. In order to change his life, he decides to answer yes to any offers, and as a result, he gets promoted, makes lots of friends, and finds love.
When the movie ended, my friend said it sucked. She said the main character was a complete idiot. In real life, he would not last a day. I liked the movie. If you want to completely change your life, you need to take risks. That's the whole point. Basically, we argued, and my friend suggested that I live a day just like the protagonist of the movie. That is, only answer yes to any and all offers. And I agreed. I could not even imagine how it would end. The first test awaited me at college. The chemistry teacher explained a new topic and then asked if any of the students would go to the board, but everyone sat with their noses in their desks, and Mr. Hutchins looked at me.
Jesse, maybe you'll go to the board.
Lord, I did not understand anything in those terrible formulas. But I went to the blackboard and blushed and sweated for 15 minutes drawing complex formulas. Mr. Hutchins patiently explained everything to me until I understood the new topic. Those 15 minutes were a real nightmare. During lunch, I met up with some friends. We sat under a tree and were eating sandwiches when Todd suggested, "Let's skip class." I had never skipped class before, but that day I agreed. We went into a cafe, sat on the bench by the promenade, and then turned to the amusement park.
Maybe let's go?
Yes, let's go in. I'm terribly afraid of rides, but what else can I say? Always say yes. It had been so long since I was in an amusement park. Music was playing, there was laughter all around, and the air was sweet with the aroma of donuts and cotton candy. We rode the carousels, shot some targets in the shooting gallery, and then the guys suggested we ride on a roller coaster. "Jesse, are you coming with us?" Little Jessie shrieked in my head in terror, but I showed no fear. Yes, of course! It was horrible. Every time the car flew down, I was dying of fright, and then I would choke on my own screams as we flew up to heaven. "Great job, Jessie! And I thought you were afraid of heights." I tuned into my feelings and suddenly realized I wasn't really afraid anymore. Not at all. I adapted to the fear and became stronger. An amazing sensation. We left the park and headed to the cafe. As we passed the animal shelter, a volunteer girl called out to us. "Our shelter does not have enough funds to buy food. Please donate as much as you can. Your money will save an animal's life." As much as you can. I had $76.15 in my purse, which meant I could donate that much. I took out all my money and put it in the can. Well, that's all I can do for you. It was the most beneficial yes of the whole day.
Well, aren't you quite the philanthropist today? This must be celebrated. I say we go to the club. Jesse, are you with us?
Yeah, let's have some fun.
Great. Jesse, you have to do your hair and makeup. I know a great salon. Do you want to go there? In the salon, the hairdresser suggested that I get a haircut and dye my hair, but I had given all my money to the volunteer. But Mary, my friend, offered to pay for me, and I said yes! Soon, a pretty woman was looking back at me in the mirror. It was strange, but I liked it. Light makeup had turned me into a real beauty. At the club, I agreed to every offer to dance. At first I was shy, but then I relaxed and just enjoyed the attention of the guys. When a tall, muscular blonde asked me out on a date, I was at a loss. I didn't want to start a relationship just because I had argued with a friend. This guy wasn't even my type, too talkative and noisy. But I decided that I should try. In the end, what am I risking? If the relationship doesn't work out, I'll just leave. It's not a big deal. If I can say yes for an entire day, I can certainly say no. And then, Tipsy Todd suggested we spend the night in a closed supermarket. Usually we would have refused. It was a completely crazy idea. But I said yes, and everyone looked at me in surprise. We really did it. We hid in the pantry among the buckets and mops, and got out when the store was closed for the night. We wandered around the huge empty rooms for several hours, a very strange feeling, both fun and creepy. The fun ended when the police drove up to the supermarket. My friends and I spent several hours at the police station. We admitted that we just wanted to spend the night and did not take any goods from the shelves. The conversation with the nice cops was fun in its own way, until my parents picked me up from the station. Now I'm at home. I'm coming to my senses about yesterday's shenanigans. The best part is, I proved to my friend that dumb decisions can be beneficial, of course, if you respect certain boundaries.
Would you ever dare to say yes to everything for a day? Write it in the comments.